Hi, I'm Dan and welcome to Polar Currency Rare Notes Spotlight number 3. This video series is possible because I had the incredible opportunity to view and document some very high-end and rare banknotes. I believe it's important to show historic, rare, scarce, and high-value banknotes because they're part of the currency collecting community and attract attention from collectors and non-collectors alike. I'm going chronologically in order of denominations with almost 100 banknotes that I have documented. These notes are important because they were the only $1 national banknotes issued by the US federal government. This video continues the $1 denomination featuring two $1 national banknotes that belong to the collector's collection for two very different reasons. Let's start with the anatomy and breakdown of the notes. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing, the BEP, only produced the $1 denomination national banknotes for two issues with the same design. These are known as the original series and the 1875 series. The $5 denomination was the lowest for the series 1882 and 1902 nationals. The $1 national banknote carries the nickname the Ace for the one denomination. Between the two series, there are 11 Friedberg numbers that note the distinction between the two series. The front vignette, titled Concordia, depicts two female allegorical figures shaking hands before a blazing altar. Multiple meanings have been attached to this engraving, such as bipartisan and good government, but another interpretation is that it represents the North and South coming together because this note was issued right in the middle of the Civil War. The engraver was Charles Burt, a prolific artist who immigrated to the U.S. from Scotland in 1842 and was chief engraver for the BEP for 30 years. For currency collectors, Burt is probably most well known for his portrait engraving of Anthony Berger's 1864 photograph of Abraham Lincoln. This first appeared on the series 1869 $100 legal tender rainbow note and would remain almost continuously on the $5 denomination for the next 126 years through the series 1995 Federal Reserve note. Vertically to the far left is the financial obligation stating that bonds have been deposited to back these notes. Notice that when you turn the note back to horizontal, the design shape of the obligation forms a numeric 1. Pretty clever if you ask me. The original series initially did not have charter numbers and used the red raised treasury seal, but that would change. The series 1875 did have the large overprint charter numbers and the new red scalloped seal that would be used off and on for the next 50 years until currency was reduced in size for the series 1928. But the original series was issued with and without charter numbers printed on them. More on that a bit later. The reverse uses what has become the classic BEP green, but the center vignette, Landing of the Pilgrims, uses black ink. The vignette was also engraved by Charles Burt. It's surrounded by the lengthy legal obligations and the penalty clause for counterfeiting flanking each side. To the far right is a variation of the seal of the state where the note was issued, in this case Indiana. It's a man felling a tree with a bison jumping over a log in the foreground. The seal is still used today, but the artistry of the bison has improved a little bit. The far right vignette is an eagle standing, clutching a bunch of arrows with its talons and an olive branch to the eagle's left in front of a shield. This was used on the $2, $20, $50, $100, $500, and $1,000 nationals. What's interesting is that the arrows are clutched by the eagle's right claw. Traditionally, the eagle holds the olive branch representing peace in the dominant right claw. But this was issued when the Union was at war with the states in rebellion. That's the breakdown of what's on the notes, but what about the two aces from the collection? The first original Series $1 National was issued from the First National Bank of Newark, Ohio, charter number 858. Because of the Colby spinner signatures, the plates were made between 1863 and 1867, but the note wasn't printed until later. How do we know this? Because the note has charter numbers and most likely was issued between 1873 and 1875, making it rare. Charter numbers were sporadically added to originals between 1873 and 1875, most likely because of the Act of June 30th, 1874 that was passed making this note an oddity. The high grade and original series with charter numbers makes it valuable. The book value of the FR 380 Ace is $7,000, but a different note from the same bank, same FR number, same grade, sold for $11,000 in 2008. Regarding the Friedberg number of this note, I found conflicting information. PMG has attributed FR 380, the very first original series Ace that was issued for this note. But according to the Paper Money of the United States book, the FR 380 with the Colby and Spinner signatures, the Treasury serial numbers are printed in blue with the red raised Treasury seal and no charter numbers. So allowing for the current Friedberg numbering system, this note should be FR number 380B with the red raised Treasury seal, red Treasury serial numbers along with the bank charter numbers. It appears to be an identification error because the PMG certification verification website plainly states that the note has blue serial numbers on it where it clearly does not. The second original series FR 382 is from the Eastchester National Bank of Mount Vernon, New York, which issued this $1 note between April of 1869 and June of 1875 and is dated February 17, 1871. It's not unique for its very fine 30 grade. What makes this note collectible is who signed it. And who was that? Well, William Boss Tweed, one of the most corrupt politicians in United States history, and that's saying a lot. Tweed served in the New York State Senate and the U.S. House of Representatives in the 1850s and 60s, but he's better known for being the boss of Tammany Hall, which was the main local political machine of the Democratic Party and played a major role in controlling New York City and New York State politics for decades. In 1877, crime finally caught up with Tweed when he was convicted for stealing up to $45 million from New York City taxpayers by political corruption. Later estimates ranged as high as $200 million. I mean, that's Bernie Madoff type money. Tweed's story didn't quite end there. He actually was in jail, escaped, got on a ship, and posed as a sailor going to Spain, where he got caught again and returned to New York, later dying in jail. The market value of a typical ace grading out at very fine 30 is about $1,000, but this note sold for $4,500 because of Tweed's signature. Large-sized notes are scarce from the Eastchester National Bank, with only 15 known being reported by Track and Price, with 11 of them being aces, making this note even more rare because of the bank. And that's what makes collecting national banknotes interesting and challenging. Many times the grade of the note is unimportant. Most of the time the real value of national banknotes comes from where the note was issued and what bank. For how old the original and Series 1875 $1 national banknotes, I believe they're affordable and can be easily found in lower grades that still have good eye appeal, such as my ace from the National Bank and Loan Company of Watertown, New York. I was able to purchase this note for less than $600. If you're putting together a large-size $1 type note collection, most likely this note will be the most costly one to purchase, but it's well worth it for its design, artistry, and history. Well, that's it for Rare Note Spotlight for the original Series $1 national banknotes. Being the only $1 national banknote issued gives this note its place in currency history. It's an important note that deserves to be a part of everyone's U.S. currency collection. As always, I appreciate your time, and if you like what you see, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, feel free to leave a comment. We'll see you next time, and thank you for checking in.